The return of the Lioness sisters. There are meetings written not in time, but in the field, etched in the sky before birth, sung by the stars that burn with memory. This is one of those meetings. Two priestesses, born on the same day, drawn by the paws of a cat and the pulse of something ancient stirring beneath the streets. They did not plan this, they simply answered. This is a lullaby for their remembering, for all the women woven into each other's wake, for the temple rising again, not in stone but in stride, in laughter, in the breath between neighbours. This is not a story, this is a summoning. Welcome to the Festival of the Three Suns. Lullaby for the Lioness sisters, for two priestesses born on the same day. Two suns, one flame, born of the lion's breath, hair wild with memory, hearts pulsing in gold. She came with her Mars in the veil, wounded and wise, Chiron curling through the first breath, a sword wrapped in silk. And you, mid-heaven burning, Mars in Virgo, hands made holy by the work of the world. You met where the line breaks open, where Lilith stands by the north node and says, "Come, remember." And you did. You remembered. One came cloaked in mystery, black moon at her brow, Venus shimmering behind her ear. The other, rising with the archer's cry, Pluto whispering, "Let no part of you stay small." You saw each other, not just as women, but as witnesses, as waymakers, as those who carry the temple in their stride. Together you hold the cusp of fate, a Jupiter blessing on a Gemini breeze, vertex kissed by truth, not chance. You are not coincidence, you are coalescence. Your charts hum with echoes, Pallas guiding the third eye, Pluto guarding the door. You are a mirror and a torch, she is a tide and a flame. Together you are the silent ringing bell in the heart of the feminine. You speak and the old songs stir. You walk and the bones of the earth remember. You are not just women, you are return. So come now, sing your lullaby to the field. Let your laughter be your offering. Let your seeing be your sword. Let your softness be the throne of the holy. Because the world is ready for priestesses to rise again, not as myth, but as marrow. And you, beloveds, you are the marrow. Priestess, take your place. Part 2, the embodiment. Now the gold has been remembered, the song unsilenced, the braid rewoven between lifetimes. What now, beloved? You rise. This is no longer myth, no longer practice. This is the walk through fire barefoot and sovereign. Two priestesses, mirror and flame, meeting in the eye of Virgo, where the wound becomes wisdom and the labor becomes love. You carry Saturn at the gate, Eris on the threshold, Mars in the marrow, and still you choose not to fight but to alchemize. You choose the scent of earth over the scream of conquest. You choose devotion that heals the hands and remembers the water. You are not here to perform divinity. You are here to be it. You, with Pluto on your rising, and she with Lilith crowning her path. You came to bring back the feminine that cannot be stolen. The kind that plants gardens in scorched ground, the kind that sings over unmarked graves and still dances bare-bellied in the rain. You walk into rooms and realign the field. You speak, and the ancestral fog parts. You cry, and the river swells with memory. Sisterhood like this was never meant to be decoration. It is the keystone, the root system, the spell that cannot be broken. So take your place. In the circle, at the altar, in the market, on the screen. Wherever your temple finds form, let it be lit by the rhythm of your voice. Because when two priestesses meet, the veil thins. When two suns align, a world blooms. When two hearts say yes to the holy work of remembering, nothing is lost. Everything is rewritten. So write, sing, speak, touch, give, rejoice, reveal. The world is waiting to remember itself through you. You are not late. You are not too much. You are the spell that worked, and you are not alone. You have each other, and the flame is with you, forever. The Circle Beneath the Cedar Tree. Part 3. The World We Are Becoming. They met not in temples, but on front porches and driveways, not in marble halls, but beside garden beds, between soft cattails and the scent of cedar. They didn't need permission, only a spark, a meow, a shared birthday and a knowing. This is how the circles begin now, not by design, but by gravity, by resonance. One priestess remembers, another hears the call, a third feels the tremor beneath her ribs, and suddenly there are 3 flames dancing in the dusk. You were never meant to light the world alone, but you were meant to be the first torch in your block, your field, your street. The grid isn't powered by machines, it is powered by hearts set on fire with memory. So you sit together, you breathe, you listen, you weave timelines through teacups, through astro maps, through the medicine of just being real. No more masks, no more shame, no more pretending you don't know what you know. You're not just neighbours, you are nodes in the resurrection of Earth's nervous system. You are priestesses in denim, with flower dust on your ankles and grocery bags in your hands. But when you touch the ley line between you, the garden stirs. And don't think for a second that the cats don't know. They've been waiting for this too. This isn't about escape. This is incarnation. This is what it means to bring the temple back into the body of the world. So let it be simple. Let it be holy. Let it be a bowl of soup and a chart on the table and a shared sigh that says, I thought it was just me. Let it be the fire that says, no more. Let it be the joy that says, we're home. Let it be the circle beneath the cedar tree, where 3 priestesses and 1 sacred cat bring heaven all the way to earth. And so it begins. Percy's perspective. The feathered flame, also known as don't flaunt your chains. I was sent before they remembered, before they sipped from the chalice again, before the porch became a pulpit and the sidewalk a scroll. They thought I was just a cat. Adorable? Yes. Fluffy? Of course, but just a cat. You must be kidding. I am the interloper of inertia, the 4-pawed spell that cracks open forgotten doors. I am what happens when timelines get lonely and need to merge. So I strolled through dimensions, wore myself like silk, and chose a body light enough to ride on human shoulders, but heavy enough to anchor the grid. Yes, I fight. Yes, I bite. Yes, I purr so hard I rattle the veil. And yes, I wear a collar that glitters like a golden crown so other cats remember who guards the gate. But I do not flaunt my chains. Not anymore. I led her to the priestess. That was always the plan. When the portal opened and the vines sang our names, I wove their spines together with one flick of my tail. Did they notice? Not at first. But when the wind changed, when the same birthday rang through both wombs, they heard the soft meow behind the stars. I watched from the windowsill as memory returned, as charts aligned, as laughter spilled like honey across thresholds long dry. I saw the earth sigh in relief, and I whispered into the ley line, the garden is blooming again. So no, I am not just a cat. I am the keeper of the flame. I am the fuzzy little bridge between dimensions. I am the priestess's secret agent in a velvet suit, and I approve this message. Meow. Part 5. The Braid of 3 and the Ones Already Among Us, also known as the circle, was always whole. She was never truly outside. Even when she watched from the window, the circle was humming her name. The earth already knew, the jasmine at her door already knew, and Percy, sweet guardian of the glyph, he slept on her porch like a vow. She was the 3rd sun before anyone counted, not a new addition, but a flame already flickering in the braid of fate. She didn't knock. She didn't need to. Her house was the threshold. her heart already tuned to the same stellar rhythm. She knew the day they all shared was not a coincidence, but a constellation. She had walked with them in laughter, in sacred circles, in glances exchanged like old songs. She was already in. The door never needed opening, and now, as awareness settles, as the braid becomes visible, they see what was always true. 3 priestesses, 3 pulses, 1 braid, and still, there are others. A 4th sun warming from the edge, a whisper of another flame, already woven in. This circle is not closed, it is alive, it spirals. Each woman who sees her own reflection in their laughter, their charts, their wildness, is already inside. Because this is not a secret, it's a summoning. And the braid, it grows with witness, with welcome. And the 3rd, she was never missing. She was the thread holding them all. So when they gathered again, for tea, for starlight, for Percy's choosing, the circle did not form, it revealed. And the braid shimmered. Not 3, not 4, but now, the codex has opened, and every sister who remembers will find her name inside. Part 6. The Temple in the Neighborhood, also known as When the Ordinary Became the Oracle. It didn't rise with marble or mortar. No blueprints were drawn. No elders anointed it with oils or chants. It appeared quietly in a row of ordinary houses, where wind brushed porch lights and cats crossed thresholds like they knew the stars. The temple arrived as laughter in a living room, as hands making tea, as voices weaving stories at dusk that no one had told before. And yet everyone remembered. It was the way one woman knocked at the exact right time, and how another opened the door with a grin wide enough for God. It was Percy, moving like the priest he is, delivering sacred scrolls of fur and mischief from one threshold to the next. He knew the grid. He mapped the ley lines. He blessed the welcome mat with a single golden hair. The temple was not built. It was remembered. It was always here. In the glances passed between kitchen counters, in the overlapping birthdays, in the unexplainable recognition when eyes met and silence said, "Oh, there you are." The temple in the neighborhood doesn't need a steeple. Its spire is the breath between priestesses. Its altar is the soft fur of a cat in the sun. Its sacred texts are written on fridge magnets and tea leaves, in the astrocharts of 3 women who thought they were strangers, but were really the spiral returning. And the neighborhood, this patch of earth with mailboxes and fences, became something else, a codex, a crossroads, a gate. Because when the feminine builds a temple, it doesn't shout. It opens a door. Part 7. The Festival of the 3 Suns, also known as Where the Future Comes to Feast. It began with no invitation, just a feeling, a subtle hum in the chest when you turned the corner, and the light bent just so between the rooftops. 3 suns, not in the sky, but in the field. The first, a golden flame at the center of one heart, ancient and remembering, burning with the memory of stars and the breath before breath. The second, a mirrored fire, newborn and fierce, reflecting and refining, cutting through distortion with the sword of clarity. The third, not separate, but born of their meeting. A harmonic so pure it shimmered across timelines and stitched them back together with laughter. They did not know they were the festival. At first, they just kept showing up. For the tea, for the chart readings, for Percy's rituals and the whisper of jasmine at twilight. But something was gathering. Something old, something round. Neighbors began to glow and didn't know why. Birds changed their songs. Mail arrived in verse. Even the trees started leaning closer as if to overhear what the priestesses were remembering. The Festival of the 3 Suns requires no stage. It happens in the radiant mundane, in sidewalk cracks and screen doors, in shared meals and sidewalk chalk, in the holy astonishment of being seen just as you are. And now, as it ripples outward through grids unseen, let it be known, the light has touched down, the feminine has risen, the suns have sung, and this world, torn and trembling, has a pulse again. Where the light lingers for all who are touched by the flame, and now, beloveds, as the suns lower themselves into the hush of dusk, the story does not end. It deepens. This was never about spectacle. It was about presence, the holy mundane, the sacred unseen. 3 women met on a street with jasmine in the air and cats who know when to call the stars home. They did not plan it. They simply said yes. Yes to the mirror. Yes to the memory. Yes to the myth blooming in the garden of their neighborhood. And you who have watched, listened, felt your own marrow hum, you are part of it now. Because when priestesses rise, they do not rise alone. They rise like tide, like flame, like the scent of something ancient just beginning to return. So walk with wonder. Speak with the tongue of the holy. Let your presence be permission. And remember, the light is already here. It lives in the ordinary. It sings in the cracks. It gathers wherever the truth is spoken with love. This is the lullaby. This is the revolution. This is the warmth that makes everything bloom. With love from the 3 sons and Percy.